bunch of information, including the gas station that I was at, meaning the type of gas I put in, but also where I was that day, which is some location tracking, and how often, how much driving there is and how many miles per gallon. And then I have a few other notes. I don't even have the actual data sitting here. Maybe I do. But I have a few other notes about the gas usage. And so on that previous page, there were a bunch of questions that I might be able to answer. This is well, that's exciting. So here's the data that's coming in with some calculations. Since I got the car, which was I think 2000 or 2001, so maybe 4 years. It may not all be typed in, I don't know. So these are some of the results I want, is interesting summaries of this, like is my car miles per gallon slowly getting worse, or did it improve after that maintenance, or how different is it when I changed jobs and started a very different pattern of driving, and then the location data and whatever else I can come up with. I think the other page talked about that. These were some of the questions and even a few results that I got by pounding on that data in a spreadsheet. But the other big part of this project, I'm not that obsessive about, I'm not as crazy as I look about gas usage and gas prices, but I do want to get into using RDF, which is the Resource Description Framework, and that's how I intend to store all this data. So you'd think if I was going to do this project, I would just put the data in some database, make SQL queries that gather the stuff I want, and do math that way. But in a blog that I can't find, someone else made the intriguing comment that with RDF now he doesn't have to set up tables and form those complicated queries. And with RDF you just start putting your statements into your knowledge base. And a statement is just a subject, a predicate, and an object, such as a gas purchase was made at the Arco gas station. And then another statement would be, the Arco gas station is specifically the one at 6407 Telegraph in Berkeley. And then another statement would be, that purchase was on November 23rd, 04. So the notion with RDF is that you pour all these statements into a knowledge base, and then you do interesting queries out of that knowledge base. So I've been reading about RDF and knowledge bases and how to do these queries, and so I picked this as an easy database app that we could all do, and it's mostly straightforward depending on how complicated I want to get, but I'm going to do it with RDF. I think that's all I had to present. I'll take questions and elaborate on things. Go ahead.
So, given that there's a lot of data, most modern cars now actually have sort of a lot of computers in them to gather information on,
Yeah.
Could you extract some of this information just out of that?
I would love to. So the question is, isn't the car tracking this stuff, and doesn't the car have computers that measure fuel efficiency and maybe track my fill-ups and stuff? I don't know. It's a 96 Accord. My car may not have much in that regard, but it does have the what's that port? The OBD2 port, and you can buy things like OBD2 to Palm or OBD2 to serial connectors and write software. And so obviously I have read about that and looked into it.
But actually tracked
I don't know. I think OBD2 will tell you things like, is the oxygen sensor working, and it probably gives feedback on the sensors that the car has to use to do its job, so fuel mix and things like that. And I think when you take your car to the garage, they plug in and that's what they're monitoring. I don't know what else it could do. Go ahead.
I have a buddy who actually looked into this and he built some stuff you're talking about.
So what kinds of things can you track now?
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Hundreds. There's
Really?
hundreds of variables.
It's not actually, the car's not tracking itself normally.
But the OBD2 is a protocol, and you can get a Toyota, and Toyota sells you the book for $95. Humongous amount that you can pull out. He actually was going to write something put on a palm, tire pressure, whatever.
Tire pressure. Wow.
It affects fuel efficiency.
Do you know how much data he got along the lines that I want? Like, does it know fill-ups and things like that?
I would assume it would know that you had to have gas, because the gas is right? It's part of the network.
I don't know.
It's
On my car,
but
it's
it
not.
wouldn't know you're at Chevron at
Right.
or the Boulevard or the cost and.
Right.
But you can find out how much gas you put in.
Okay.
Your Chevron stuff could be pulled from GPS stuff.
Yes, if I had a GPS. There's no GPS.
You could automate the whole thing.
Yes, I could.
But you try mapping all of this data?
You have to manually enter your odometer.
Again?
You have to manually enter your odometer.
I've been typing this
That's
in.
on the OBD too.
Oh, and that's another part. That's another part of the project, actually.
Is
So
there any way to draw out that connection to the when the ball
On your phone, you press a button on your software on your phone.
Okay, so you still have to manually do something to signal
well, unless
Until you automate it.
unless the car is reporting the gas. So yeah, but that's another part of the project. So
I'll link to gaspricing.com or whatever web service to get the gas price, and you got all of this covered.
yeah, I do hope to mix this. I do hope to mix this with gasprices.com, which does track all the local gas, and it would be interesting to see, given my purchases, was I picking the good ones or not, or could I go a block away and get a much better price? The thing I forgot to mention on this project is that I have a Palm Trio where I can view web pages. So for my first round of input, instead of taking the receipts home and typing them in, I would like to sit in the car while the gas is filling and type it into a Trio form, and then that goes in the database. So it'll be the simplest possible, database CRUD kind of thing, but the RDF will give it a new angle and hopefully teach me things. Say again?
What have you found? What are the results?
At the bottom of my other page, so I've taken various averages and stuff in the past and just looked at them. Tonight, I hope to actually make some interesting graphs and learn a lot more. These are some notes that I wrote down about stuff I found.
Can you show the raw RDF?
There isn't any yet, but I will show some raw RDF.
What's the other page for the HTML?
So this is HTML exported from StarOffice.
Oh, so it's actually like a base database.
So yeah, so until tonight, I've typed it into a StarOffice spreadsheet,
Oh.
and then we go to here, and then we go to RDF. We done? All right. Thank you.